Hello everyone, this is Simple Math for you, and today's lesson is writing equations in standard and point law forms part 2. أهلا بكم في Simple Math for you، ودرسنا اليوم هو كتابة المعادلات بالطريقة القياسية وبدلالة النقطة والميل الجزء الثاني. In this part, we are going to write equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. راح نكتب المعادلات للمستقيمات المتوازية parallel والمتعامدة perpendicular. What is the meaning of parallel lines and perpendicular lines? Lines might have two cases. lines ممكن يكونوا not intersecting غير متقاطعين أبدا not intersecting They are the same plane في مستوى واحد ولو مديتهم if you extend them forever they will never meet and we call them parallel lines متوازي. Usually parallel lines have equal slopes يعني if you have line 1 و line 2 line 2 is parallel to line 1 إذن slope line 2 is equal to slope of line 1 نفس الميل بالضبط لأن نفس الزاوية نفس درجة الانحدار. هلا الحالة الثانية the second case إنه they are intersecting يتقاطعان they meet. هلا التقاطع هذا the intersection can be in a way that they make right angle 90 درجة يعني يتقاطعوا بس بيعملوا زاوية قائمة مع بعض this is right angle 90 degrees and in this case we call them perpendicular متعامدين. Usually for the perpendicular lines, the product of the slopes is equal to -1. إذا اللاين الأول عمودي على اللاين الثاني first line is perpendicular بدل ما نكتب كلمة perpendicular t معكوسة the opposite of the t is perpendicular to line 2 then their slopes are negative reciprocals to each other their product is -1 حاصل ضربهم يساوي -1. ناخذ مثال مثلا إذا عرفت إنه lines perpendicular متعامدين and you know that the slope of the first line is 2/3 then the slope of the second line will be what? You flip it تعكسه وتعكس إشارته مع بعض. So that's why if you multiply them if you want to check and you multiply 2/3 times -3/2 it will be -1. So بدل ما تعمل this time just every time the same thing you just flip it اعكس ال denominator والnumerator and reverse the sign. Let's take another example. If you have another example مثلا slope الأول كان 3. What is the slope of the line which is perpendicular to that 3? How much? 3 is 3/1. فأكيد هذاك 1/3. This was positive so this is negative. Exactly. If the slope was 1 the second one will be -1 because 1/1 هي نفس -1 يعني 1/-1 it will be the same if you multiply them يطلع -1 وهكذا. This is how to find the slope of the perpendicular line. Now الكيس الثالثة the third case is when they are intersecting but at any angle rather than 90 angle عادية 30 40 50 60 even obtuse angle مش 90 degrees so no relations are between the slope no relation يعني we cannot predict لا نستطيع التنبؤ بحالة السلوب شو هم ما في بينهم إلا إذا كانوا inverses you will take it next lesson. So in this case no relation يعني slope 1 و slope 2 ما في علاقة بينهما no relation between them. Our objective in this lesson our goal is to write the equation of parallel and perpendicular lines. We are only focusing on these cases. So we are going to check here a simple practice. Determine whether CD and KL are parallel, perpendicular or neither. You have many points as you see here and we want to check whether CD line CD and line the passing through the point CD and the line passing through the points KL we want the relation between them. So how can we? Remember, to know whether they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither, we need to know the slope. So we will find the slope of the line CD. We have the point C, which is 4 and 10. We will call it x1, y1. We have the point D, which is -1 and 12. We will call it x2, y2. And let's find the slope. 12 minus 10 over -1 minus 4, which is 2 over -5, or it is -2 over 5. Now we will repeat the procedure again for the slope of line KL. Knowing that K is 6 and -5, L is 1 and -3. So we will call it x1, y1, x2, y2, and all you need is to find the slope as we have done many times. نطلع السلوب الميل. 3 minus -5, 1 minus 6. So it is 2 over -5, or it is the same as -2 over 5. It is very clear here that the slope of the first line is exactly the same of the slope of the second line. So the lines are parallel. Parallel lines. Now let's move to the second one. Complete each sentence given y equals ax minus 5, y equals to bx plus 3 for different values of a and b. So before we start, قبل ما نبدأ لازم نحدد what is a, what is b here. A here is the slope of the first line. B is the slope of the second line. So we are comparing the slopes. احنا عم بنقارن الميل. So when A is 4, B is 4, يعني الميل الأول 4 والثاني 4, إذا the slopes are the same. That means that graphs of the lines represent parallel lines, متوازية. What if they have no relation between them? So it's neither, they are intersecting, يتقاطعان, but with different angle. Now for the third case, -2.5, if you multiply, as you see, they are negative reciprocal. And if you check and multiply them, you will have -1. That means they are perpendicular. So here, this is the short form. You can say they are parallel. Here we can write it this way, parallel. And these are perpendicular of the T. So the slope is a very important factor to determine. Now we will write equations. Write equations in slope-intercept form for the line that is passing through the given point and is parallel to the graph of the equation. Once we will write the parallel and the other one perpendicular line. This is the point and this is the equation. The most important thing to start by is to find the slope of the given line. So we have a given line. This is given. This is the equation of the given line. And our line that we are finding the equation is parallel, مرة parallel ومرة perpendicular. When it is parallel, يعني they are like this, passing through this point. So we need to find this slope first. First, to find the slope of the given, our line, we need to find the slope of the given line. For the given line is this slope. So the slope here given is directly 2 because the equation is written already in slope-intercept form. So now my line is the same now when the case is parallel. For the parallel line, if it is parallel, then the slope will be exactly the same. And we know the point already. So we will use the information that we used before. نستخدم نفس المعلومات اللي استخدمناها بالقبل. هو طالب slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. صح؟ يعني I will start by writing y equals mx plus b. And I will use this equation. Replace. Says I'll replace this is x, this is y plus b to find the b. Take the 6 there. So your B is negative 10. So your equation is 2x minus 10. This is for the parallel line. Now, for the perpendicular line, for the same situation, but perpendicular, and we will need to do something else. Now, we will not take the same slope. My slope now is negative reciprocal, opposite reciprocal. This was positive, so this will be negative. This was 2 over 1, so my slope is 1 over 2. And I will repeat the procedure. Using the same point, which is this اللي هي 3 and negative 4. نفس البوينت راح استخدمها. This is x and this is y to find the new b. I found the new slope, so now I'm finding the new b. Minus 4 is negative 1.5 plus b. Take this there. Minus 4 plus 1.5 is your b. So b is negative 2.5 or negative 5 over 2. My equation is y equals to negative half x minus 5 over 2 اللي هي هاي. Same, or you write it, it doesn't matter, ما بتهم اكتبها بنفس الطريقة, decimal form or fraction form, it's not a big deal, not a big issue. So we wrote the equation of the line when it is parallel, two cases, parallel or perpendicular. Okay, let's have another example here. Same thing here, نفس بالضبط here for different case, so you can practice as you have now the idea. Given the parallel slope is the same. You can write with me, you can practice. So we will add 6 over 4, which is the same as 3 over 2, which is 1.5, plus 3, which is 4.5, 9 over 2, or 4.5. So your equation, we have new b, and same slope, but a new b. That's why we are replacing back. Now we have perpendicular lines. So my slope now is negative 4 over 3. So my new slope is I replace. My x is the same as this one that I'm replacing by. My y is 3. My new b, I'll find it. So this will be 8 over 3 plus b. And I will subtract 8 over 3. 3 minus 8 over 3, I mean. So it will be 1 over 3. So my equation is new slope with new y-intercept. This is for perpendicular line. This is for parallel line. Select the equation in slope-intercept form for the line that is passing through 5, 0 and is perpendicular to the graph of this one. So from here, we need to rewrite the equation. لازم نعيد كتابتها على صورة y equals mx plus b. So let's take the x there. And now we have, لازم يكون عندنا y لوحدها. So I will divide everything by negative 6. So my y is negative راحت مع negative, صار عندك 1 over 6x, negative 1 over 6. So this is the slope given. Now, given slope is that, so my perpendicular line should have negative 6 as a slope. مين اللي إلها negative 6 as the slope? This is the only one. So the answer is A. If you want to continue, you will follow the same procedure here to find B, and you will find it as 30. Y equals mx plus B. So, but without that, we realize that there is only one correct answer. So this is my solution. Perfect. Now, determine whether the graphs of each pair of equations are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. To do that, we need to have the equation written in slope-intercept form to determine the slope. So let's rewrite it, solve for y. Let's say this is, let's take our time here. This is equation 1 and equation 2. المعادلة الأولى. Take the 3x there. And then we want y alone. We divide everything by 5. So y is negative 3 over 5x plus 10 over 5, which is 2. So this is the slope that I'm looking for. أول واحدة. This is M1. I repeat the procedure again. And I will solve for y as well. Divide by minus 3. اقسم. So y is negative goes with negative. Negative 6 over negative 3 is positive 2. And this is the second slope. Compare now. Compare them. As you see here, if you multiply them, if you want to check, أولا it's very clear من الواضح إن هما one of them is negative reciprocal of the other, or you can check by multiplying both slopes. You will end up with minus 1. So أكيد they are perpendicular. متعامدان. Perpendicular to each other. They are intersecting at right angle. We will do this one to check as well. This is 1, this is 2. And the same thing, we need to write it in slope-intercept form. Y alone. Take the x there. Divide by 7. You can solve with me and check. Maybe you are faster than me. And negative 35 over 7 is negative 5. My slope is negative 2 over 7. Slope 1. Repeat the procedure again for the second one. Solve for y. Divide by 14. So y is negative 4 over 14x minus 3. This value can be simplified by dividing. Don't leave it as it is. We can divide numerator, denominator, البسط والمقام نقسمه على 2 في common factor. So my slope here is negative 2 over 7. This is my second slope. And if you compare, they are equal. Slope 1 is equal to slope 2. That means the lines are parallel to each other. They have the same slope. Perfect. Last one for comparison is this one, and this is very easy. One step. Y is equal minus x minus 3. Slope here is what? Negative 1. Don't say negative x, because this is negative 1x. 1 is not clear, مش واضحة, بس هي لازم هيك تنكتب. Now, if you solve for this one, you take that negative 3 there to isolate the y. So it will be x plus 3, or y equals x plus 3. Now, the slope here is hidden, مش مكتوب. It's 1. So my slope here is 1. Slope 1, slope negative 1. What happened? Slope 1, negative 1. Are they perpendicular, parallel, or neither? As you see here, if you multiply 1 by negative 1, you will get minus 1. So they are also perpendicular. If it is none of the cases, يعني إذا لا متساويين ولا حاصل ضربهم minus 1, you will write just neither. Now, do you think that the following equations belong to the same line? Now, as you see here, the slope here is 3. Slope here is 3. This equation is written in point slope form, and this one is point slope form بدلالة نقطة وميل. ولكن everyone كل واحدة مختارين نقطة. يعني they are using here point -1 and -1. Here you are using -1 and -4. طبعا reverse the sign if you want to refer to the point originally. Anyway, it's not a good way to decide from the point slope form. لأن line, because the line can pass by millions of points. Everyone can choose the point he likes. So that's why we will find different points. In this case, the only way to check whether both equations represent the same line is to convert them to either standard form or slope-intercept form. So let's start distributing. This will be 3 times x, 3x plus 3 times 1, 3. And when you shift this to the other side, it will be 3x plus 3 minus 1, yani y equals 3x plus 2. This is the equation of the first one. I'm doing the same thing here. And shift the 4 there. So y is 3x minus 1. As you see here, the lines look parallel but not the same. They have the same slope but different y-intercept. That means they are not on the same line. Not the same line. The equations, not the same line. They are parallel to each other. With that, we end part 2. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you all. See you in the next video. إلى اللقاء.